Hello and thanks for tuning to Gulf TV Africa. Education plays an important role in the lives of individuals and in the development of a country. For this purpose, individuals travel abroad to further their education. Precious viewers, in the next couple of minutes, my guest, a professor of international relations and African history and president of Nigerian lecturers in Benin, Mr. John Aka, will be dissecting the topic furthering education in Benin, the challenges and the way forward. To set the ball rolling, Mr. Aka, tell me, how are the Anglophone universities doing in terms of impacting sound and quality education?
Yes, I will say that, well, the journey has not been very easy. The journey has not been very easy, to be frank. The Anglophone system of education in this country actually started about 15 years ago.
Okay.
It started with a particular school, at least to the best of my knowledge, a particular school called Udegbe North American University.
Okay.
At Pekadis.
Yes.
It started, I was invited to come and organize the school, to write out the curriculum and everything, which I did.
Okay.
And ever since then, we started on a very good note of really wanting to impact sound education. And with time, other lecturers also joined. We started by first preparing a curriculum that is very, very suitable.
Okay.
Because in preparing a curriculum for a university, there are certain things you must take into consideration.
Exactly.
There are certain things you need to take into consideration, such as the environment in which the university is situated, then the culture of the people, not to forget the government policy also. All of this must be put inside the curriculum to give it a very sound which we have actually done.
Okay.
To make sure that, so talking about impacting, the sector doing in terms of imparting quality education, it must definitely start from the curriculum planning.
Perfectly. Yeah.
It must start from the curriculum planning. When the curriculum is prepared, then you now talk about impacting the knowledge.
Exactly.
Impacting the knowledge to the student. And while you do that, when every other things, academic-wise and administrative-wise are put in place,
yes,
definitely, you must definitely have a good result. So what I'm trying to say that, imparting such and this thing must start with having a very good curriculum.
Good.
Get a good curriculum planner.
Good.
Curriculum is very, very essential for this thing.
Okay, Professor, talking about putting in place a good curriculum to see to the rendering, the giving of quality and sound education in our Anglophone universities, is there any mechanism put in place by the authorities of the country, equally by the Nigerian government, to see to it that things that ought to be done for there to be a quality and sound education are in place? Simply put, is there any control?
Yes, there is a control. There is a control. We have the Ministry of Education in Nigeria. And it will interest you if you know how Anglophone system of education started in this country. It will interest you. I'm one of the initiators.
Okay.
And if I have to begin to tell you the history, we have a program in Nigeria called JAM.
Okay.
Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. Is an examination body.
Okay.
But we have observed that because of the teeming population of the country, the students sitting for that exam called JAM, and the outcome of the result, most times students don't really get a good results. So I sat down and I said, what can we do? And I began to look. I said, but we have Republic of Benin. as a neighboring country, then I began to think of that definitely something must be done.
Okay.
And when I was invited by Professor Optab Udegbe to come, I said, this is a good opportunity for me. So you look at it from that angle, that Benin is, the Republic of Benin has actually rendered us that opportunity which the student cannot get in Nigeria.
Okay.
But because of the colonial, or what I can call the policy difference.
Yes.
Nigeria is an Anglophone, Benin is a Francophone.
Exactly.
It will be very, very difficult. As a matter of fact, when I wrote the curriculum in English, I gave it to somebody who translated it into French before we submitted at the Ministry of Education here. So, but going back to what you are saying, we have a mechanism in place for this. We have the Ministry of Education, then we have the Nigerian University Commission called NUC.
Yes.
These two, they work together. For example, a student, because at the end of their completion of their studies here, they are supposed to go to Nigeria. I don't know the name they call it here. Maybe they say they call it stage here or something.
Yeah.
You go to Nigeria to serve your fatherland for 1 year.
Okay.
So in the process of doing that, they go to the ministry, we submit all what they have done here.
Yes.
We'll submit it to the Ministry of Education in Nigeria. They will evaluate it, they will look at it, and if it is okay. So in the area that things are not properly done, the Ministry of Education in Nigeria, they have the obligation to tell us what and what. So I can say basically the Ministry of Education in Nigeria has been the mechanism that is responsible for checking. But I will not sideline in fact, we are just coming from a place, they call it InfoSec or something.
Yes, InfoSec.
We have been invited by the Ministry of Education here too.
Okay.
There. To talk about certain things that they think we need to do to make this thing. So what I'm saying is that it's not just the Ministry of Education in Nigeria that is doing it. That the Ministry of Education in Benin too is also contributing their own quota. But you know, because it's an English program.
Yes.
It might be a little bit difficult. But one thing I appreciate about university education is universal.
Exactly.
It's like when you are writing a project. Now, you write a project irrespective of anywhere you are coming from.
Yeah.
It's a universal thing. So university education has always been a universal thing.
Yeah.
So for that, the Ministry of Education, they are more or less like a mechanism that check certain things.
Okay. Talking about the Ministry of Education in Nigeria putting mechanism in place to check what is done in Anglophone universities here, is the Nigerian Embassy in a way playing an intermediary between the Anglophone universities in the country and the Ministry of Education in Nigeria?
Yes. As a matter of fact, you were there. I think you were there. You saw the ambassador.
Perfectly.
And you saw I was given opportunity to talk that day. It's just an indication for you to know that the embassy is actively involved too. We have also recommended certain things. Like we actually told them that they need to they need to have a database.
Okay.
What I mean by database, to know the names and details of all Nigerian students studying in Benin.
Perfectly.
The embassy should have it. They should have it, put it. They have, but it has not been so effective.
Okay.
It has not been so effective in the sense that we have people who have actually come for different things. Some people want to make money. Some people are so passionate about the work.
Yes.
And when the embassy do this, some people don't take it serious.
Okay.
When it is not something that will bring about money. So, but the embassy has been of immense assistance.
Okay. Okay. Prof, now let's look at the challenges, the difficulties that the universities are facing operating in a francophone country, and equally the challenges faced by students leaving their homeland for a foreign country to further their education?
Yes, very interesting this thing. Just
Question.
as I said the other time you saw me while I was discussing with the ambassador, we cannot shy away from the fact that there are no challenges.
Okay.
We cannot shy away from that fact. Aside that is an opportunity for them to fit into the system, is an opportunity for them to finish. As a matter of fact, I tell my students most times that you have an added advantage studying in Benin. The reason is that you now had additional language, which is French. Which is not, might be taught in Nigeria, but is not taken serious. You now find yourself, apart from what you do in the school, the environment, you socialize yourself. When you go out from the school, the people you meet outside, they speak French.
Exactly.
Then, you know, then it makes it very easy for you to be able to understand French better than people who are in Nigeria. So I mean, I do tell them that. And, you know, they actually appreciate that. And talking about the problems they are facing, you know, the problem, you cannot shy away from certain things. It has always been like that. When you are outside of your home, there are challenges.
Okay.
Because even on your own, if you are unable to fit into the environment you find yourself.
Yep.
For example, you are a Nigerian, you are doing certain things certain way, a Beninese is doing it a certain way, but because you find yourself in Benin, you are supposed to comport yourself. You are supposed to buy their own way of living.
Yes.
So if you are not doing it the way they are doing it, both of you are bound to have clash.
Exactly.
You are bound to have clash.
When you go to Rome, do as Romans.
Yes. I see most of these students, they have problem with kekeno.
Okay.
They have problem with this because their own lifestyle as a Nigerian is different from the lifestyle of a Beninois. So there will always be a challenge. And that will definitely bring in other challenges.
Okay.
That will definitely bring in other challenges. Well, you have not asked me, but it's not that either directly or indirectly the student or the Anglophone system is not contributing to things, maybe, you know, to things in Benin. But the challenge they basically have is the differences in the way of life.
Okay.
I don't want to. The differences in the way of life will always be what will always cause the challenge.
Okay.
You are not behaving the way we are behaving.
Okay.
Because you are not trying to behave the way we are behaving, you are behaving. Your own behavior is strange to this. There will always be clash, and that is what, you know. The other time I was talking about some students are they are having problem with maybe their landlady, their landlord, and they take them to the gendarme, and the gendarme will say they are going to go to prison, and all of these things. It is basically because of the way of life. Their way of life that they are used to in Nigeria is different from the way of life they met in Benin.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to stress so much. I will tell you that the way of life, in terms of attitude, in terms of behavior, in terms of norms and culture, are what is actually causing the challenge. I wouldn't want to say more than that.
Okay.
I know why I'm talking like that.
Okay, talking about the way of life being a kind of a challenge for students studying in the Republic of Benin, Nigerian students studying in the Republic of Benin.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the universities, what difficulties are you facing operating in a francophone country?
Yeah. You know, just as I've rightly said, we have some difficulties that are within us, that are caused by
yourself.
We ourselves. Then we have another difficulties that is external.
Okay, now talk to us about the internal difficulties.
The internal difficulties now start with the program that is being run.
Okay.
For example, in Benin run a 3-year program. But after some time, I got to understand. But at least in the university, they run a 3-year program.
Yes.
Nigeria runs a 4-year program.
Yes.
That is one of the major issues. And one part of it is that some schools are still running 4 years here.
Okay.
While some are running 3 years. And when student comes, of course, everybody wants something that is fast.
Yeah.
They want to go to the 3 years. But we know our students, we know what is good for them.
Perfect.
3 years might not be okay for them. But because it's just 3 years, let me finish and go back. And go back.
Yes.
So, but on that, we are also looking for ways to meet with the government here. Because I was told that the reason why they do 3 years here is because of their own calendar. All this back and all of these things.
Yes.
And the way they do it, they come in, they spend 3 years, then they do master 1, they do master 2,
yes,
and all of those things. So there's a difference. Because what you call baccalaureate.
Yeah, the baccalaureate, yes.
Baccalaureate is an advanced thing.
Exactly.
In Nigeria, we used to do it. We call it A levels, advanced levels.
Yes.
So when student comes now, they have not done A levels in Nigeria. They want to come and do 3 years here. It's not possible.
Yeah.
But they just try to take advantage of that. So that constitutes a problem, one of the internal problems that we are having.
Okay.
Then when I want to talk about another internal problem, another problem is that some students come,
yes,
they want to come to 200 level because maybe they were possibly in a polytechnic in Nigeria or college of education or one institution.
Yes.
They want to come here. And most times when they come here, they don't come with what we call transcript.
Yeah.
The transcript is the statement of your result. And ordinarily, the way we do it in Nigeria is that transcript should be sent by the school.
Exactly.
The student don't, transcript is sent by the school, but most of the students, they don't send transcript. And because most schools are looking for students, they themselves don't bother to ask the student for transcripts. They just absorb them. And when you absorb them like that, you are just bastardizing the system.
Yeah.
You are not doing the right thing. And at the end of the day, it is this same student that will go at that place. In fact, the way they are doing that, they will begin to talk down.
Exactly.
So the issue of transcript also has also constituted another problem. Another issue that I can also discuss is I'm working on some of my books. These are some of the papers that I have presented in some convocation. This is on role of education in national development. This is the sustainability of bilingual university education in the Republic of Benin. Okay. Problems and process. And another problem that I have seen, is in the area of, how do I say it now? It is in the area of curriculum planning. What I mean by curriculum planning, the courses that are meant to be done by the school.
Okay. Each faculty.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, sincerely, I appreciate what the Benin government is doing.
Okay.
In fact, I cannot. The system is just too okay for me.
Good.
Why? I see the way they do their things. And I try to compare it with what we are doing. And I see that we are taking certain things for granted. And that is why we are doing it like that. I was coming to talk about some schools. I don't know if you're going to ask me a question. I was coming to talk about some schools that are not accredited. that are not giving paper to license to operate.
Function, yeah.
You cannot do that in Nigeria. We have the Nigerian University Commission. The day you put your signboard like this and they don't know you, the following day they are going to remove the signboard and you are going to be prosecuted.
Okay.
But I can tell you today that we have more than 20, 30 schools
which are not authorized to function.
Authorized to function.
Okay, before we come to that particular side of the question, you just spoke about the internal problems.
Yeah.
Are there some external problems that you can talk about equally?
Well, the external problems basically is not something so much,
okay,
other than the fact that the Ministry of Education here in Benin, they are still trying to understand our system.
Okay.
And because they don't understand their system is a major sin. And I believe it is true. They need to understand the way we operate.
Okay.
But they don't understand. So the so-called external problem has been from the Ministry of Education here, not really understanding our system.
The system.
That is just the external problem.
Okay. With that said, now students rush into the Republic of Benin to further their education without knowing which particular school is accredited for them to further their tertiary education.
Yeah.
So, is there any system put in place for the students back home in Nigeria to be able to depict that school A, school B, school C is accredited and F, Y, Z are not accredited?
Yes. Just as I said, I really want to commend the government here, especially under this administration of President Talon. They are doing a great job.
Yes.
What they do from time to time, they send a list of accredited schools to the embassy.
Okay.
Nigerian Embassy.
Okay.
Then we also have the Nigerian Industrial Organization that did that. They send those things. It's just that, you know, these people that brings students in, that they call themselves agents, to look for, so they know how to convince the student not to go to the embassy. So when they are bringing them from Nigeria, they just bring them to the school that they have collected money from. But that arrangement has been put in place. Any student who really wants to know should go to the embassy. The list is with the embassy. Okay,
Prof, we are running out of time. We've just spoken about that there is a system put in place to identify schools that are accredited and those which are not accredited. Now, we earlier on spoke about the challenges that are being faced both by the institutions and the student. Do you think there are some ways one can go about in finding solutions to these problems? Quickly.
In finding solutions to the problem,
yes,
is going to be a joint effort. It's going to be a joint effort. Like we approach it from the, you know, collectively. Collectively, we sit down and discuss amongst ourselves. And the willingness to do the right thing is the most important thing. The willingness to do the right thing and to shy away from all these irresponsible acts.
Yes.
You know, just making sure that we come together as a body to address this issue, because there's no other way. I have spoken to the Minister of Education here times without number, and they told me that you people need to put your house in place.
Okay.
When you do it, we will follow you. Okay. Because we don't know much about your system.
Exactly. Unfortunately, Professor, we don't have much time on our side. This interview has come to an end at this particular moment. I'd like to bring to the notice of our viewers that Professor Aka is a renowned professor in the Anglophone system of tertiary education in the Republic of Benin. He has been talking to us on the topic furthering education in Benin, the challenges and the way forward. He spoke to us about how the Anglophone university system is doing in the country. We also look at the challenges that are faced by the students and also the institutions, and we saw that we have the internal and the external challenges that are faced. He made it known to us that there is a system put in place for students back home in Nigeria to be able to identify institutions that are accredited by the authorities of the Republic of Benin. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reverend Asamoah, and thanks for having your time with us.
Shed your diamond, shed your diamond, shed your diamond, shed your diamond.